this morning with my mind. Oh yeah, stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Singing and dancing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Singing and dancing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Singing and dancing with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I can't take my neighbor with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Can't take my neighbor with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Can't take my neighbor with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on spirit. I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning. Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing joy. Oh, I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of compassion right now, singing I choose compassion today. Now I choose joy. Hey, I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. Oh yeah, I'm walking the road of joy right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. And I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Hi, Kathy. Get your mic, girlfriends.
Thanks anyway. Yeah, let's give some love to our vocalist, Heather Marsh Preslick, and of course, Mel Zhang, always there on the keyboards for us. Beautiful. Thank you so much. So, Ahava is the Hebrew word for love. We gather together each Sunday knowing that love is always
the answer.
That's right. So I'm Kathy Jones, Vice President of your Core Council, and your host this morning. Second time, I'm getting used to this now. So anyway, welcome to Ahava. It's good to see everybody. So who are we? We are a conscious community committed to curiosity so that we may provide a loving space to be reminded of the truth of who we are. So we're an open and affirming community, whoever you are And wherever you are on your spiritual path of discovery, you are always welcome here. Our online viewers, lots of people out there. We want you to say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. You want to help our ratings. You want to keep us going, right? So if you're in the room, we encourage you to take out your phones, turn down the volume, of course, but check in. Let people know where you are this morning and share pictures and inspirations of our service today on social media. First-time guests. Do we have first-time guests out there?
Maybe online?
And online as well. Yeah, we are always happy to have somebody joining us for the first time. Whether you are online, whether you are here, we welcome you to Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. Volunteers. Y'all, we got to give shout out to the volunteers. You all know we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the volunteers who get everything set up and going.
Yeah,
and
thank you. Thank you, volunteers.
It takes a lot of people, a lot of loving people who give up their time and their talent to create this service. And there are so many things that go on way behind the scenes that people are just unaware of. So it takes a lot to keep us going. So now it's time to, this is my favorite time, when we greet each other. If you will, just take a deep breath, put your hand over your heart, turn to somebody sitting near you and say, thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you for being a reflection of me. Thank you. And Bill, thank you. Love you. All right. So we have a fabulous vision and purpose here at Ahava. And if you will, wait a minute, let me find it. Yeah, here we go. We are an inclusive community.
We are an inclusive community
Committed to global transformation.
Committed to global transformation
Through personal evolution.
Through personal evolution.
And our purpose, we know that, we are that. Wake up, step up, and make a difference. Awesome. Today's affirmation, and you can repeat this after me. I share the power and potential of collective curiosity.
I share the power and potential of collective curiosity.
Awesome.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So why wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said? And right here in this holy silence I find God. I find myself.
I find God in the silence. God is. God is all that there is. This amazing power, this one life that I know as love. I know as peace, I know as joy, I know as power. This amazing power that lives and breathes as each one of us. We are that same love and that same joy and peace and power. We are as God is. We are everything God is. God lives inside of us. God expresses as each of us every moment of the day. We are God walking around as love. And we are so blessed by our musicians at Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. These beautiful musicians, so much talent, so much beauty. We are blessed by our speaker today, Reverend Dr. Bob Deen. And we are blessed by all of the volunteers and the hands and hearts that go together to create this sacred service. We are blessed by the love that we share in this community. In so much gratitude, I let it be by saying, and so it is.
So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I find myself.
I thank Reverend Jenna Evergreen for that beautiful prayer. And now I'm going to invite Norm Strobel up to do today's reading. Thank you, Norm.
Yay.
This is from The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Each one of us today is the result of the use we have made of the law, either consciously or unconsciously. As soon as we realize this, we shall see that what we are now, or what we now have in experience, is the result of what we have thought. And the answer to what we shall be is contained in what we're thinking now. For we can change our thinking. We think and suppose that we let go of those thoughts, that we are finished with them, but such is not the case. For thought becomes subjectified in the mind like a seed planted in the soil, and unless neutralized, it stays there and determines the attraction and repulsion in the experience of the one thinking. There is a constant action on the subjective side of life, and it is the unconscious process which decides what is going to happen in the outer experience. Whatever we think, act, believe in, feel, visualize, vision, image, read, and talk about, in fact, all processes which affect or impress us at all are going into the subjective state of our thought, which is our individualized use of universal mind. Whatever goes into the subjective state of our thought tends to return again as some condition. So we and we alone control our destiny.
Kind friends all gather round. There's something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain, learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. But like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend that you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. And open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was wonderful. Whew. I have to speak after that. Okay.
You know, sometimes I don't feel as powerful if I'm not belting, and I appreciate you for saying that.
Oh,
Like-
absolutely. Absolutely. You just touched my heart. Thank you. Thank you. Although belting is fine too, you know, when the time's right. Wow. Welcome, everybody. In case you don't know who I am, I'm Reverend Dr. Bob Deen, otherwise known as Bobby to my family at home, and Bob around here, and Robert when I'm in trouble. So glad to be back here. Happy to be here to be part of this wonderful expression. Our practitioner's back. I didn't know you were going to be here. Oh, wonderful. Yay. Well, here. I'll put you to work later, maybe. We'll see. You know, that's why, anyway, we all love to when we're practitioners, we love to practice. So we'll maybe see about that for later on. Title of today's talk is How to Catch a Vision. Well, before we get to that, I have another question. How do you catch an individual rabbit? You sneak up on him. Yeah. How do you catch a domesticated rabbit? Tame way. These were bad the first time I told them. Okay. Yeah, well, that might help. The point, though, that I want to say is that the catching a vision is a lot like catching a rabbit. You've got to be in the vicinity of the rabbit to catch it. You've got to put yourself in a place where there might be one. You know, getting in a boat and going out in the middle of a lake somewhere to catch a rabbit is not going to get you a rabbit. It's going to get you a whole lot of wasted time. But, so if you want to catch something, you've got to get into the vicinity of where it is. And then you've also got to believe that you can catch it. I do not believe I can catch a rabbit with my bare hands, so it ain't going to happen. I can sit next to a rabbit den forever and not reach for it because I don't believe I'll catch it. My dad used to say they would sit by the rabbit dens when he was a kid in the 30s and snatch them out of the den by their ears, and they'd go blind because of the bright light for a little while. They'd put them down and watch them run around and bump into each other. Now, I don't know if that happened. And all of you out there listening who are about animal cruelty, this was in the 30s. It's long past. I've never done it, so forgive me for that. Do not want to recommend it. I don't think many people could actually catch a rabbit, but we'll see. But so to catch a vision, you got to be in the right place. You've got to be in a place where, in your thought, in your consciousness, you're open and receptive. You've got to be in a place where you're not thinking about anything else, and you've set aside all of your preconceived notions. That's hard sometimes. And then you got to be open and listen. It's kind of amazing that first time I walked to a Science of Mind center, I wasn't sure I wanted to be there. I had been in another religious group, as I've talked about before. I was a good Baptist minister for a long time. I say good because I did the best I could. But when I started my first education in that world, my theological education down the road here at Southern Baptist Seminary in Louisville, I learned some things from my favorite professor, Frank Stagg, who was a New Testament professor. And he said, you know, if you want to understand your Bible, he taught New Testament. He said, by the time the year's up and we've been through the whole New Testament, what I want you to do is start writing down what are the parts of that, what are the phrases, what are the words that you actually believe, and then test them. Because the only Bible that matters to you is the Bible you believe in. I mean, we could talk. Thank you for the reading, for the way you read it. It's a little heady, but oh my God, it's the truth. We are today the result of our thoughts in the past. So we have to decide how much of that do you believe. Some of it will be true whether you believe it or not. Whether you're able to use it or not will have to do with how you believe in it. So by the end of that year, I had a very small Bible. There was a lot of things I had to leave out. I kept the one about it's done unto you as you believe, and I kept the ones about Jesus because I thought that he had to be a pretty good character. But a lot of other things I let go at the time. And as I grew in ministry, in that ministry, my Bible got smaller and smaller instead of bigger and bigger. Until I reached a point where about the only thing I had left was a belief that religion and spirituality was a philosophical idea and a psychological idea that helped us get through life. And that's all it was. It had no objective reality whatsoever. And Baptists say, you send your kids to seminary and it'll ruin them. Well, it did in that respect, because I just couldn't believe all that other stuff anymore. And so I had dropped it all completely. And it was at a point where nothing was working very well in my life, and I wasn't a happy camper at all. And I finally jumped into a 12-step program. And my sponsors said after about a year, you got to go find a church in addition to this program. And I'm like, no, I don't. I've done that already. Forget that stuff. Yeah, you do if you want me to keep working with you. So finally I said, okay, I'll go. And one of my friends said, well, there's this weird church downtown, so like anything you've ever been to before. They don't sing except maybe one song, and the minister doesn't talk about hell and damnation and sin, and it's just a very different kind of thing. And there are a bunch of people like you that are there. So I'm like, okay. So I went. Walked in the first time, and the first thing I heard was, such is the nature of life, that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. And you're that opportunity. And so am I, and so it is. Whew, I still feel it today. I heard him say that at the beginning of every service for many, many years, and I still use it a lot because that's what it's about. It's about life wanting to show up, and I'm it, and you're it. Kind of messed up my plans of being miserable and a victim. And it even took away those names I had put on all that stuff that I didn't like. Because he said, well, you got to show up as something. So you're showing up as a mess. Okay. You do a really good job of making a mess. Which means when you learn how to use this teaching, you're going to do a good job of making an unmess. I didn't know that yet. And I really felt like I'd had enough of that hard stuff. One of the beautiful things that Michael Beckwith has said, and he's getting credit for it, I don't know who said it first, maybe he did, that your pain, your hurt, pushes you until your vision pulls you. Our pain pushes us. Think about that. You do all you can to try to cure yourself and get away from it or hurt. And people use addictions and people use meditation and all kinds of other wonderful things too, trying to alleviate the pain. And yet it's the vision that finally captures us and pulls us forward. And that's what we're talking about today. You guys have been through some pain in this community. You've been through some hurt. I don't want to go back there. We don't need to go back there. It's done. That has pushed you forward to where we are today. And today we're going to work with capturing the vision and catching that vision to move us forward. It's a beautiful thing. See, I also heard things like, you are not your problem. You're much more than your problems. There's more to you. I know, that came out backwards. There's much more to you than what you have been up until now. You're not the sum total of your history. You're much more than that. Wow, that was kind of cool. And then I heard this thing about you're an expression of God. In fact, you're God individualized, which is a real heady idea, and I had no idea what it meant to start with. But as I worked with it a while, I began to realize that we're like the tapioca lumps in the tapioca pudding. If you think about this infinite source, this infinite power is a great big vat of tapioca. We're the lumps in the tapioca. We're the concentrated versions of consciousness coming into shape and form in physical form in order to experience this amazing world we live in. And yet we're never separate or apart from tapioca. You're the drop in the ocean, but you're the drop in the ocean that stays in the ocean. Not the drop pulled out to, oh, look, it's a drop. No, you're in it. So you are it. You're the whole thing. You're the whole consciousness. The divine is what you are and who you are. And that reading says it so beautifully. I heard that and I started to perk up a little more. And then I found out about this thing called spiritual mind treatment. Well, I'd been to prayer meeting for years, and so I knew that, I ain't good at that, until I understood it a little better. And so I wrote a treatment with the help of a little pamphlet by Reverend Charles Barker. And it worked. Within 6 weeks, I could breathe through my nose without medicine, first time in my life. It's like, wow, this stuff works. I guess I have to stick around to learn more about it. So I started drawing closer and closer to that vision. It was still about alleviating the pain and getting away from the pain, but I began to move more and more towards the vision. Yeah. Huh. Then I heard you can change your life like that by changing your mind. Well, that's an easier thing than I thought it would be, because I had a lot of old Baptist negativity in there that took a while to get cleared out. And thank you, all you wonderful, loving Baptists. I'm not picking on you. Don't mean to. It's just by story. So I began to get clearer and clearer that in this teaching, which is an ancient teaching, goes back to the Greeks and probably older than that. It's Greek idealism, but in new thought, in a new way, in a new form. I learned this, that we don't get what we want in this teaching. You know? I wish we did. We get what we believe we deserve. That was one of the things that my teacher kept hammering at us all the time. This is not a get-rich-quick teaching, unless you believe you deserve that and can put it to work. This is not a get-something-for-nothing teaching. You can't get something for nothing, because what you've got to give for that getting is building the consciousness of receiving. You got to be involved in it. It doesn't just show up magically. We get what we believe we desire and deserve. Not desire, deserve. Huh. So I've just started doing a whole lot of rewriting in my Bible at that point, and started creating a whole new idea of what truth and reality really was about. And I started to catch a vision of what I could become. And I started to remember, and I'm not telling you this to say, yay, Bob. I'm telling you this because I hope it triggers some things in you, and you can see some things in your life that are going, oh yeah, that's right, that's what happened. Or, oh no, that's not what happened to me. What's wrong with you? You know, whatever it does. Yeah. That we can begin to catch a vision. When I was that little kid back in the swamp in North Florida, my parents, I've told this before, bought a really struggled to buy a encyclopedia set, World Book Encyclopedia. They bought the cheap version because that's what they could do, but it was a rich thing for me, and it had about 6 pictures in the whole thing that were in color. Everything else was black and white. That was why it was cheaper. But one of those pictures was a picture of the scene looking down on Machu Picchu. And when I first saw that thing, I still get cold chills thinking about it. It was like, there are places like this in the world? Everything's not just a flat swamp? Wow. And we didn't have TV. I didn't have TV in those days, and we didn't have everything that kids have today to know how the world looks and what goes on. That was just a mind blower for me. But I never imagined I would ever be able to go there, but I did feel this pull, this like excitement. Well, I've been there many times now, and it's still as magical to go back there as it was the first time, except there are a lot more people now. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing, and it was the fulfillment of a vision that I didn't know I had caught. I certainly didn't know to call it a vision. All I knew was I got really excited when I looked at that picture. That's what we're talking about, catching a vision. You catch it sometimes before you even realize you've caught it. And sometimes other people realize you've caught it before you do. Things happen in your life where you're still struggling with how to a decision about this or that, and everybody around you knows you've already made up your mind what the decision is. They're just waiting for you to catch up. Anybody have that? Just me? Okay. All right. So we begin to get to this idea that when we listen, the more we think about this, we're getting closer to that place where you catch the rabbit, that place where you're sitting there by the hole waiting for something to show up. And the biggest place I've experienced catching the vision has been between my thoughts. Not in a thought, between the thoughts. When I looked at that picture, my mind stopped. When I heard my grandson was born back on the East Coast, or was about to be born, and I was doing ministry on the West Coast, my heart went flutter, flutter, and everybody in the congregation knew I was moving before I did. Because it was between thoughts, where you catch the vision of what's coming for you and what's next, and what you're being pulled to and what you're being drawn to. So part of our job in sitting next to the rabbit hole, the vision, where the vision is coming from, is to stop our thoughts. And we do that in meditation all the time. Breathe in, breathe out, pause. And there's a moment there where it goes quiet. Your mind will stop if you allow it. Doesn't stop often. Some of our minds seem to never stop, but sometimes the stop is very short. But it will pause. And in that pause, you can either drop in an idea to see it manifest, or you can listen. And when you listen, you hear what is above the thought and beyond the thought. You hear from the divine itself. Yeah. It's right here for you right now. Oh, we're good. Okay. Sometimes that vision will show up as a flash, like some things have done for me. Sometimes it will open up in a collective, like I was describing with my grandson in the move back east. Yeah. Sometimes it will only have a part of it. And that's the power of collective visioning. Because when we all go sit around the rabbit hole, sit around listening for that vision that's going to come, we only get one part or another of it, perhaps. You all know the old story, the old Indian stories of the blind men being introduced to an elephant. One guy says, oh, it's a tree trunk. And somebody else says, oh, no, it's a snake. And somebody else says, no, it's a great big leaf. Because whatever part they were touching was the part that they got. What they did in that story, though, which we aren't going to do, is they started arguing about which one was right. Not any of that happened in the world today, right? What if all of us are getting a part of the vision, and if we could just share and be open to expressing and speaking and listening to each other, we start to hear the whole vision. We start to see the whole vision. We start to get the whole picture of an elephant or a vision or whatever it is. What a wonderful world, huh? I'm ready for that world. We have that world here in this community, in this idea. So collective visioning is one of the basic practices of science of mind. It's a core of our teaching, not only collectively, but individually. And the power of the collective is, it's different. Some of you come in here early for meditation. This morning was really powerful at meditation because we were all here together sinking into the same place. And it for me, it accentuates. Sometimes I need to be by myself, but more often than not, I get a lot more from the collective by us being together to do this. So each one catching our own parts. Now, we have a lot of other basic practices in this teaching. We have spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer, some people call it. It's not asking God to fix anything. It's asking us to align our consciousness with that infinite power so we are more fully expressing who we are. We're not trying to manipulate anything except our own minds, to go quiet, to learn. So today we're going to do that. After the service, we're going to take a break. There's some food out there, and we're going to come back in here for a workshop. And we're going to do a visioning process, which will start by us getting quiet and by a connecting in consciousness to the infinite power that we all know we are. Now, how do we do that? By declaration. When I was in Peru, I learned a lot of magical stuff from what looked like magic, from one of the shaman that took us around, Kero. He said it's just a matter of intention and willingness. Anybody can do these things that I'm teaching you. You just have to have the willingness and intention. So I learned to feel the energies of the mountains. I learned to let a rock up in front of me on a trail create a bond and pull me up that trail when my body didn't want to go anymore. I learned to do that in a group, putting the weakest person in the front and the rest of us behind, pulling the heavy energy out of people so they could be lighter and could keep walking. And we walked and climbed places with people who were totally out of shape to do it that I never would have imagined we could do. Because there's so much more about our universe than what we know. And so we have to collectively get into that place where we are working together as a collective. And we'll do that this afternoon. And then once the mind is quiet, we simply ask questions and listen. And trust whatever weird thing might come up, or whatever really nice, normal thing might come up. And we're going to share all of that, and then we're going to condense it and come to agreement about 6 things, about 6 traits or qualities of your new minister. Because, see, your new ministry is going to be a match for you. Now, that's a little scary if you're still carrying around a lot of stuff. So that's why we need to keep looking to the past as the past and let it go. Because we want to match up with this potential. We want to match up with this vision of where Ahava can go and can be. We had a meeting Wednesday night with your core council that was mind-blowing. People came in there not sure what was going to happen, but by the time it was over, we were a unified field of love and energy and information. And we did it by telling each other the truth and listening. Do you know how few places there are in the world where that could happen? That's why this place is so important. It's a place where we can speak our truth. We can be loved. We can recognize when our truth may not be the truth because we're loved enough to see it that way. And then we can grow this place. Because the more you are that, the more you're going to be light to bring, people come walk in the door and they go, oh, I feel something here. Ooh, what is that? And they want to stick around and find out more about it. So visioning is this opportunity for us to do that. It's couched in our individual Bibles. They provide a lot of the information to us. Whatever your Bible is, however many pieces you have of something that you know you absolutely believe in. You got to believe in the vision and the visioning. We also have to set aside stuff, our hurt, our pain. You know, if you're going to sit next to a rabbit's den and try to catch him by the ears, you got to, or any other part, you got to be still long enough that it might start to hurt a little bit. You may have to let that just go and ignore it in order to reach for the good that you have. There's a new you, a new Ahava. It's as close as your next thought, as close as your next idea. Do you believe you deserve it? Yeah, and you can answer out loud, but answer it here. That's what counts. Do you believe you personally deserve to be part of that kind of community? And you deserve collectively. Do you believe that collectively we deserve to have the good that we describe? Because that's what will manifest it. So join me, if you will, in a closing treatment, meditation. Not closing the service, but closing my part. Deep breath, let it go, settle into your seat. Another deep breath and let it go. And do a little quick inventory. Don't hold on to any of this, but just a quick inventory of your mind. Are there any things that you believe are holding you back, or holding back this center from its highest and greatest good? Just notice it. Don't have to do anything with it. Just notice it. And as you breathe, simply let whatever that is, whatever those things are, drift away on your breath. And this would be true for your own personal life as well. Yeah. And maybe it's a big sigh, maybe it's a little poof, but let it go. Ernest Holmes said sometimes we must deny before we can treat. So we deny any power to those ideas, to those limiting thoughts, to that history, to that past, to that stuff hanging in our minds, to the knots that might be there. K-N-O-T-S or N-O-T-S. And instead we step fully into the awareness that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence, that its qualities are love, creativity, light, life, beauty, joy, peace. And all of the qualities of that infinite that I can imagine are also me. I'm in it. Therefore, I am it. So I recognize that, and I step willingly into the awareness that as an expression of the divine with the power to create, I choose now to create a greater life for myself, for my community, and for my world. I open my heart and mind to the vision of what that might be. I don't have to know it. I just have to be willing to take the first step of being awake to it. And so as I step through that doorway and into this new beginning, I do it with ease. I do it with joy. I do it with a great sense of anticipation and gratitude. Gratitude that I live in a universe that works this way. Gratitude for who we are as individuals and who we are as a collective. Gratitude that the power of life is running through each and every one of us right here, right now, and will continue forever and ever. And so I simply direct it, like pointing a hose of goodness in the direction I choose to go. And I listen for the guidance of where and how to do that. And so it is with ease, with grace, with joy, with excitement, and with huge gratitude that I can release this now, knowing it has begun, nothing is ended. I let it be, and so it is. Thank you all.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let it be. We let it be. Just want to say, we didn't even know we were going to color coordinate today.
Oh, gosh. So, oh my gosh, I'm still just like reeling from that beautiful song, Letting It Be, from Bob's talk, you know, catching the vision. We just have such a beautiful vision here. It is contagious. It's spreading, it's growing, and I'm excited about it. So it is now time for our conscious giving. Members of the Core Council will pass a basket in the room, and there are several ways you can give online. You can go to our website at ahavacenter.net and click on the Give tab, and or you can text the word GIVE to 859-209-6996, or you can mail your gift to 168 Burt Road, Lexington, Kentucky 40503. So we have a beautiful offering affirmation. There we go. If you'll repeat after me. Divine love as me
Divine love as me
blesses and multiplies
blesses and multiplies
all that I have,
all that I have,
all that I give,
all that I give,
and all that I receive.
and all that I receive.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava,
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava,
knowing that it returns to me
knowing that it returns to me
multiplied abundantly.
multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 We're grateful.
I always make noise with that. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, we got a lot happening. This is a really important day at Ahava, and I'm so glad everyone is here. As Dr. Bob said, we're going to have a workshop today, and we're going to collectively vision for our new minister. We're excited about that. So we're going to get a bite to eat out in the community room, and then we want to get started about 12:15 in here, and we plan to be finished by about 2 o'clock. But it's going to be great, and I want everybody to stay here for that. We've also got Lexington Pride Festival coming up on May 30th on Oliver Lewis Way. Ahava will be continuing our long-standing tradition of having a booth at Pride. There's a link to sign up to volunteer for a time period in the newsletter, or you can speak to Colleen Steele, and she'll get you signed up for a time to volunteer for that. Gourmets for God, you all. We had such a wonderful time at Ron and Nancy's a couple of weeks ago. We had so much fun, and we're still looking for people to step up and make a difference, y'all, and host an event. Just come up with a theme, come up with an idea, and it's a fundraiser to generate some income, for Ahava. It can be hosted at your home, any other location. We can do it right here in our community room. We've had barbecues outside. Just, put your head together, put your head around it, and come up with an idea, and let Nancy or somebody on the core council know that you've got an idea, and we'll help you with that. We'll get it going. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Core council meeting this week. Sorry. on Wednesday, the 20th. And in our transparency, I want to let you know what our topics are going to be for that meeting. Format and agreements regarding the meetings, approval of the April minutes and financial statements, debrief from our workshop today, our open pulpit package status and the assignments that are going on with that, a report on our music program, fundraising, celebration of Pride Month and booth signups, nonprofit Giving Sunday, Facebook page, and some updates on our HVAC and maintenance needs. So there's a lot. We talk about a lot of stuff, and we get a lot accomplished. So it's all for Ahava, y'all, our beloved Ahava. So our speakers, we're rounding out this month with speakers, and you won't want to miss any of them. Next week, Reverend Sonny Cantrell-Speth will be here, and we always love that. The following week, we are having back Reverend Ramisi Umandavi, closing out on May the 31st, and you don't want to miss her either. She's a great speaker. So, and then Dr. Bob will be back for 2 more weeks. Yay! Right. So, Reverend Jenna Evergreen will be available for prayer. We have a lovely area in that corner back there, a nice private area, comfortable chairs. I invite you to take advantage of prayer with Jenna. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So, now for our benediction. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
And life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I share it.
And I share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
And just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life. 1, 2, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I catch that rabbit here in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I